channel. It's me, Lene. So as you can tell, we moved. The move went great. That's why I was kind of gone for about 4 days. We had to have movers come. It was a whole thing, but the move went smooth. Everything worked out great. So today I'm going to be listening to part one of Miku's documentary. I've listened to all the rest of them, and I have a playlist of all of my Band-Maid reactions if anyone wants to go over there and check those out. So without further more, let's learn a little bit more about Miku.
Breaking new gate.
We are in Kumamoto, a city located in the prefecture with the same name on the island of Kyushu. This is where Kobato Miku was born a few decades ago. Her parents were a remarried couple, and she has a half-brother who's 11 years older from her father's previous marriage. As you could imagine, she was a very active child, much to the dismay of her parents, who struggled to keep an eye on her, as she was the kind of child who snuck out of her house to play or run all around as soon as she was taken to large open spaces. She loved to play with boys at games like Chanbara, which is basically sword fighting for kids, or catch insects in the summer, but those little trips and games cost Miku a lot of bumps and bruises. Miku was introduced into music very early by her grandmother, who went to an enka karaoke class. When she was around 7 or 8, Miku fell in love with music and singing as she followed her grandmother to local public hall gatherings. At this time, Miku only knew enka, so that's all she sang. The first song she learned was Jindo Monogatari by Yoshimi Tendo. Her mother was worried that Miku would only be interested in enka, so she asked her to listen to other musical genres and offered her a CD of the idol band Morning Musume. And so, with time, Miku came to experience and listen to more and more different kinds of music. In high school, Miku was in the broadcasting club. Of course she was. This is the club responsible for those announcements that you hear in the school from time to time, like morning or lunch break news. Back then, Miku's friends were really into bands and took her to live performances of smaller amateur groups covering popular songs. Miku was not that interested in the bands, but this experience made her look into more bands to listen to. During her research, she came across Tokyo Jihen, a Japanese rock band formed around the popular singer Sheena Ringo.
You know, listening to these documentaries, I've heard of so many different bands that I've never heard of before. So I know in one of the I can't remember which one it was. One of the documentaries, someone said to listen to I think it was a male band that was in that documentary. So I'm gonna have to check them out.
Miku was stunned by their sound and finally found the music that she wanted to do. It was also during this time that Miku's parents got divorced, and her father totally disappeared from her life.
Oh no.
From then on, she had to live with her grandmother. It was a hard time for her and her family, but she tried to find a proper high school and think about her future. No time to think about making music for a living, even though this idea was starting to grow in her mind. When she was at university, Miku missed a lot of classes because she was working part-time to earn enough money to participate in multiple auditions in Tokyo. The problem was, she never told her mother about all her travels to the big city. And the more Miku went to Tokyo, the more she wanted to live there. So, in October 2010, on her birthday, Miku presented her I want to live in Tokyo plan to her mother to try and reassure her. This plan was basically to find enough part-time work to pay for her life there, along with vocal training. Miku knew that living in a big city like Tokyo would cost a lot, so she took as many jobs as she could. At one point, she had 3 different jobs, leaving her with just a few hours of sleep per day. She was willing to do anything to realize her dream.
She worked for her dream. One thing I've noticed too with all these documentaries and all these girls, what they have in common is they all kind of had a little bit of a history of music. They all either were raised with someone who got them into music, went to music school. That they all kind of had their own little beginning whenever it came to music.
One of her jobs was at a maid cafe in Kumamoto. This is the kind of job that fit her perfectly, as she was very interested in customer service, loved to talk to people, and loved the idea of wearing a cute outfit at work. This particular maid cafe only lasted 6 months, until December 31st, 2010. It's hard for this kind of business to last in local cities like Kumamoto because of the lack of new customers daily. With nothing holding her back in Kumamoto and enough money from all her hard work, Miku quit university and moved to Tokyo to start a new life pursuing her dream of becoming a singer. Now that she was living in Tokyo, Miku easily found a part-time job as she had already a lot of experience from her life in Kumamoto. Miku discovered the concept of maid cafe in her hometown, so she thought that it would be a good idea to try and work in a maid cafe in Akihabara, the place where maid cafes are the most popular in Japan. She started to work at the at-home cafe in May 2011 under the name Himawari, which means sunflower.
Aww.
This maid cafe was way bigger than the one.
I'm obsessed with sunflowers. I don't know if y'all can tell, like, through my place. Like, there's my wedding bouquet right there. And sunflowers were my flower for our wedding, so I love sunflowers.
In Kumamoto, and this flower. This maid cafe was way bigger than the one in Kumamoto,
so
and this one held performances and events where Miku could work on her singing regularly. It was a great experience for her, as she learned a lot about human relations, handling different types of people, and even calming down angry customers arguing with each other. After all, Miku wanted to do everything to make everyone happy. She also learned a lot from overseas customers and how they perceive maid cafes as a part of the Japanese culture. Miku worked almost a year for At Home Cafe, but quit in January 2012. She had a ceremony celebrating her time working there, and there was a lot of messages from regulars and overseas customers. She even wrote a moving message on the blog of the maid cafe.
なんかやっと卒業したんだなって実感湧いてきました。なんかじわじわ来るね。イベントにも参加させてもらったり、歌プロにも出させてもらったり、プロマイドを撮ったり、撮影会したり、錬金だったり、振り返ってみたらいろいろしたな。自分がイベントするなんか思ってもなかったけど、まさか卒業するとはね。書き損ねたんですが、スーツで来てくれたご主人様、ありがとうございました。私得でした。あと、素敵なお花もありがとう。あと、チェキの受け取りがまだの方、なるべく早くお絵かきしてドンキに持っていきますので、後日ドンキへお願いします。ごめんなさい。いろんなことがあったりしたけど、やっぱり私はアットホームが大好きです。8ヶ月間で出会ったご主人様やお嬢様、メイドさんを絶対に忘れません。アット中だった私が全く秋葉原に行かなくなるなんて到底無理な話なので、きっとまたお会いすることもあるかもしれません。もしまたどこかで私を見かけたらよろしくお願いします。私にとってこれからがスタートだと思ってます。みんながくれた気持ちを胸に頑張っていきたいと思います。さよならはしないです。ありがとうございました。頑張ります。ひまわり。
The reason why she left was because she'd won the Super Idol audition on December 9th, 2011.
Oh, cool.
This competition started in the summer of 2011 with 2,600 applicants.
Wow.
Their goal was to create a 3-member idol band with the votes of the fans. The Super Idol audition was also broadcast on MXTV on December 30th, 2011.
ありがとうございます。野口美香です。すごい、とにかく今頭の中真っ白なんですけど、すごい嬉しいです。今後ユニットとして3人で頑張っていきたいと思いますので、まだまだ未熟なところとかいっぱいあると思うんですけど、一緒に応援していただけたらなと思います。私は熊本から出てきたんですけど、すごい親にもいい報告ができて、アルバイト先のこのメイドさんをしてるんですけど、常連さんも見に来てくれていい報告ができることがすごく嬉しいです。これから頑張っていきます。ありがとうございました。
This contest allowed Miku to join an underground idol band, or Chika Idol in Japanese, named Lil Kumin 3 months later, in March 2012. An underground idol band works with a minor label and will only perform in very small areas or events. It's well known that very few underground idol bands can become bigger and join a major label, so the chances for Lil Kumin to get bigger were really small. No pun intended. The name of the band came from the very short height of the 3 members, and that the birth flower of December 9th, when the result of the audition was announced, was Kumin. Lil Kumin was active until April 13th, 2013, when they announced they had disbanded during a one-man concert in Shinjuku Orebako due to Miku and another member quitting the band. About a month after the release of the 3rd single called Super Trooper, and their first one-man concert in the same venue. In the end, Lil Kumin released 3 singles and performed about 100 shows during a year of activities.
That's not bad.
In an interview, Miku confirmed that it was not her thing to sing cute idol songs. She didn't hate it, but it was too different from the music she wanted to sing.
Cutesy sounding for her. I could see why she would want to expand into something that was a little more creative, I guess. Not downing any of that kind of music, but I remember I think it was in Misa or Akane's documentary that they did not want to be in an idol band. They didn't want to, jump on that train. So I can see why Miku's also like, this kind of just isn't my cup of tea.
Back to square one for Miku, who decided to send her resume to Platinum Passport, explaining the kind of music she wanted to do. The company reached back to Miku and scheduled a meeting to talk about her project. Let's imagine an abbreviated form of this conversation.
はじめまして、小鳩ミクと言います。出身は熊本です。地元と秋葉原のメイドカフェで働いていました。オーディションに受かってアイドルグループで活動していたんですが、アイドルではなく歌手になりたくて1年ほどで辞めさせていただきました。自分のやりたい音楽性とは違うなって気づいたんです。
バンドとかには興味ないの？
バンドは好きだし、東京事変さんにも憧れています。それに可愛い音楽よりもかっこいい音楽がやりたいです。
コバトはいろいろなバンドを調べて聴いているときに東京事変に出会って恋に落ちた。バンドメイド日本のエピソードで群青日和が人生を変えたとまで言っている。この瞬間からコバトはかっこいい音楽のバンドを聴くようになり、バンドを組むという考えが頭に浮かぶようになった。もしこの曲がなかったら、コバトはバンドを組むことなど思いつかず、バンドメイドは存在すらしなかっただろ
う。あ、でもメイドも好きです。
メイドとバンドを合わせたら面白いね。
じゃあ混ぜちゃいましょう。
On May 29th, 2013, Platinum Passport posted an audition announcement for anyone who wanted to join a new rock band performing with maid outfits. They also presented the first version of Band-Maid's logo. In this post, It was specified they were looking for women between the ages of 15 and 24 who can play guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards while wearing a maid outfit. They also clarified that the applicants must not be currently under contract with a production company or record label and must not be planning to debut as a professional. Miku was actively looking for potential members herself and found a young musician posting guitar covers on YouTube and Nico Nico. The name of this guitarist was Konami. Miku contacted Konami through the talent agency to present her project. Konami was pretty excited to join Band-Maid, and the maid outfit was definitely not an issue for her. The next one was Akane on drums.
Hell yeah.
And with that, Akane asked Misa to join her new band.
Misa's face right there, man. There's just something about her where she just is so stoic. It's so every time that I see her, there's just not much emotion on her face. Like, look at her right there, just nothing. And then right here, in this
Akane
interview,
asked Misa to join
nothing. I love it.
her new band.
もらってでベースもいないってなってたのでその時私専門学校音楽の専門学校行ってたんですけどで一緒の学校だったベースのミサを誘って
Misa's band had just ended their activity, so the timing was perfect for her as she wanted to continue playing bass. Band-Maid, originally consisting of 4 members, was ready for its debut. They started rehearsals, but after about a month, felt that something
They have the mask covering their eyes.
wasn't quite right. Miku's voice alone didn't fit with this kind of music, and she didn't want to relive what happened with Little Kumin, so the idea of bringing in another vocalist to contrast with Miku's voice was raised. A new audition was conducted.
That's good that she was able to humble herself in that. Like she was willing to have someone else come in to better the band. Not that she wasn't good enough, but you know, there's so much pride in so many bands that they refuse to step down. They refuse to admit that we might need a little bit of help. So it's a good thing that she humbled herself and allowed that to happen because now we got Saiki.
Inviting everyone managed by the agency who could fit with this project. Band-Maid members and management found the profile of a recently scouted young singer to whom they proposed to audition. She was a model, dancer, singer who came to Tokyo to realize her dream of becoming a professional singer. And her name was Saiki.
I don't know the name of this song, and I liked in the last documentary how it had the names of the song down at the bottom of the screen.
With their newfound experience gained while recruiting the other members, the management knew that they shouldn't talk about the maid outfit to Saiki if they wanted her to come to the audition. So, they didn't.
どう思った？メイドの格好でみたいなのは。
メイドですって言われなくて
言わなかったんです
今までのこの反応を見てクルッコは学習したみたいで
なるほどなるほど。
さいちゃんには言わないで誘おうと思って
可愛い服なんだけどって言われて
ちょっと可愛い服でかっこいい曲のバンドをやるんだけど
で曲だけ聴いてたんであじゃあまあやってみたいですかねみたいな
感じで。
のでこれはみたいな今はこれないんですけどエプロン
エプロン
最初あってエプロンってなってパシッてパシッてなって
From this crazy idea of mixing cute outfits with hard rock music, 4 talented young ladies joined Miku to form an impossible band whose goal is to dominate the world through music. And this band was called Band-Maid. Band-Maid didn't waste any time after finding enough members, as they started to perform live on July 24th, 2013, before Saiki even joined the band at Otsuka Deepa in Tokyo. They continued for 2 more shows before opening for Passport and Silent Siren on October 22nd, 2013 at Shibuya AX with their complete lineup. This was Band-Maid's first live.
I love Miku's confidence. She's just out there. There's no really stage fright there at all. She's just, on it.
This venue could hold 1,500 people, so it was a great opportunity for our newly formed band. Band-Maid started to be more active on Twitter on July 19, 2013, to promote concerts and news about the band. Their YouTube channel had been created on October 22, 2013, and slowly grew over the years. Band-Maid also opened an Amiiblo blog that was deleted in 2016 to use the official website that we know today, even though it looked quite different from its current design. The management did a great job regarding the band's promotion in social media, but Band-Maid had trouble standing out and reaching more people. During the first 2 years, most of their concerts were empty. They struggled to build their own fan base, and the future of the band was very uncertain. Band-Maid tried to participate in Battle of the Bands with some other idol bands, but very few people from the audience were actually there for them, so they tried everything to expand their fan base. They promoted their merch every time they could. They took photos and thanked fans for coming to see them. Miku worked in a noodle cafe in Akihabara until 2016, and she also sold tickets by hand. The noodle cafe was a service operated by Platinum Passport, where you buy a cup of noodles and you can choose which idol will pour hot water into the cup. Then you will have around 3 minutes to talk with her until the noodles are ready. Until the first one-man show in Shibuya Milky Way, Misa was very unsure about her future in Band-Maid
I don't know what happened to the sound just there. The sound kind of went down a little bit.
and talked to the management about quitting. And for this particular concert, the management booked a venue and asked the members to invite at least 100 people. In the end, they managed to get around 50 of their friends and acquaintances in the front row.
Good.
It was truly a dark time for Band-Maid.
Wow.
It was also around that time that they released the MV of Thrill from their first single, Ai to Jonetsu no Matadoru.
Breaking New Gate.
I don't think I've heard Thrill yet.
The song released in November 2014 was different from what they usually do, and even very different from the main song of this single.
Very different. I love the red.
Thrill was a success on YouTube and was very well received during concerts. A few months later, on April 5th, 2015, Thrill was uploaded on a Facebook page called J-Rock Radio. This page introduced music from Japan like Visual Kei or metal bands to people from overseas, and the video gathered more than 1 million views in 4 days. You know, in comparison, it took 17 days for the music video of Unleashed to hit 1 million views. It was also the shock Band-Maid needed to find their own path and start their world domination. From this moment, the band committed to make harder songs, and 1.5 years later, they played their first concert overseas in Mexico.
皆さんこんにちは、ミカです。今日はスペシャルゲストをご紹介します。レディットでアクティブに活動していて、インタビューから MC まで数多くの翻訳をしてきた人です。皆さんきっとご存知の人ですが、声は聞いたことがないと思います。それではご紹介いたします。 T シンジさんです。
はじめまして、 T シンジです。私がもともと聴いていた音楽はファンクロックやファンクなどで、ハードロックやメタルについてはほとんど知りませんでした。2019年11月に以前から友人に勧められていたベビーメタの曲を YouTube でいくつか聴いたら、サイドバーに
So I've listened to a little bit of baby metal. I have the song on my page. It's Electric Cowboy and Baby Metal's new song they came out with. But after about, I want to say 3 weeks or so, they completely copyrighted the video and it's blocked worldwide now. So now it cannot be viewed at all. I think I might end up making like a Patreon or something like super cheap and put all my videos that have been completely blocked, because I've got about a dozen of them by now, and put them on there so that y'all can see them if y'all want.
バンドメイドのスリルが現れました。そのサムネイルを見た瞬間、これはかっこいいに違いないと直感しました。音を聞く前からギャップのコンセプトが伝わったんです。実際にスリルを聞いて途中までは悪くないなくらいに思っていたら、ミサさんのベースソロでやられました。次にダイスを聞いて、ミサさんのベースに完全に心を奪われました。私のようなファンクロックファンにとって、ミサさんのファンキーなベースは答えられない魅力があります。それからバンドメイドの MV を一気に見て、1週間後にはもう CD を注文してライブの予定をチェックしていました。ちょうどその時は東京近辺でライブがなく、次のライブはツアーファイナルの LINE キューブ渋谷だったので、すぐにチケットを買いました。また歌詞を見ながら聴くうちに、小鳩さんの歌詞の素晴らしさに気づき、小鳩さんの大ファンになりました。小鳩さんの歌詞は内容もいいですが、何よりも音がいいんです。日本の曲では英語がよく使われますが、同じメロディーに英語と日本語を当てるのはかなり珍しいです。そして、
I had mentioned that in one of the videos that I listened to. It caught me off guard that Saiki was rhyming in Japanese and in English, how the words were, it was rhyming in different languages, and I thought that was such a cool concept.
日本語で母音を落として変音節を作るテクニックが素晴らしいです。ここを8音節で歌っていますが、元の日本語は15音節あります。同じ年の12月、レディットを見つけてインタビューの英訳があるのを知りましたが、未訳のインタビューもまだまだたくさんありました。自分で英訳したいと思いましたが、私は英語ネイティブではないし、当時は音楽用語も詳しくなかったので、無謀ではないかと思いました。でも小鳩さんが背中を押してくれたんです。もし小鳩さんが私の立場だったら、やれることをやるだろう、自分の想像さえ超えていくだろうと思ったんです。
Yeah, it definitely seems like Miku is a hard-ass worker. The fact that she had 3 jobs at once and then she wanted to move to Tokyo, she made it happen, like, very determined.
なので、もし私の翻訳が役に立ったなら、私ではなく、私に勇気をくれた小鳩さんに感謝してください。バンドメイドには人生を変える力があります。
そうですよね。 T シンジさん、どうもありがとうございました。そしてバンドメイドさん、小鳩さん、多くの人の人生を素晴らしいものにしてくださりありがとうございます。うわー、もう30分近く経っちゃいました。ここでちょっとお休みにして 動画の残りはまた来週見ることにしましょう。次回は作詞家小鳩さんのお話からしようと思います。ではまた次回。バイバイ。
Is that the
今
scene?
愛を見つけた愛を置いてかないで夢の中会いた
That was really cool how she like made her own animation. Oh wow, that girl, she is determined, man. Hard ass worker, like I said. I love to see that people will sacrifice their time, sacrifice their youth to pursue their dreams in their future. You don't see that much anymore. You know, especially in certain countries, people are lazy and they just live in the moment, instant gratification. They don't want to work for their future. It's like if I don't have it right in front of me right now, I don't care. So I love to see that all the girls did that. They all did that. And I saw too that this is a three-parter for Miku. So y'all bear with me. I'm getting through them due to the move, and then Hurricane Barrel came through. I'll be on a more consistent schedule of uploading. I know it's kind of been a little wishy-washy lately, but I'm trying, y'all. And then once I get done listening to the documentaries, I want to go through. I definitely want to hear Thrill because that's apparently a big one. And then I want to go through and listen to some songs before Saiki had her surgery and after to compare. So I'm very excited for the journey that Band-Maid has brought me down. Thank y'all so much again for recommending this band. I do have a playlist of all my Band-Maid songs. I have playlists for a lot of the bands that I listen to if y'all want to go check those out. And like and subscribe if you'd like to. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me. And thank you for being patient with my crazy, hectic schedule right now. Alrighty, y'all. And with that,